There's not a lot of things
Remember Starbucks? That scumbag company? Wait till you see what they're doing next.
Whether you're young or old,
If
or a senior,
or if you haven't subscribed, please do.
coffee in the morning.
Sunshine and ravioli.
You did it! Congratulations! World's best cup of coffee. Great job, everybody. It's great to meet you.
And since Starbucks is on every corner, that's where everybody goes, especially on the coasts, where women's studies majors can grab a cappuccino and libs can take a picture of their avocado toast, which I swear I've never eaten, all while working on their novel in that corner chair that will never get published. But for those of you with coexist stickers on your MacBook Pros, zooming your mother and asking her to ask dad for more money, all good things must come to an end. Thanks to progressive policies, these poorly dressed grad students are going to need to find a new place to work remotely. Starbucks is now closing 16 of its stores in Democrat-run cities like LA, Portland, and Philly, as violent crime just rips through the streets.
Starbucks is closing more than a dozen locations due to safety concerns. Among them is the one located at Union Station. So according to a memo, the decision came after company executives read their incident reports filed by employees. The workers at the locations that are closing will be able to transfer to other stores. The National Retail Federation says organized retail crime gangs and workplace violence are growing concerns nationwide.
You heard it. Organized retail crime gangs. How are these baristas supposed to brew a latte with one hand and hold up stick-up artists with the other? Well, I'm glad you asked. Starbucks is now going to start having their baristas do active shooter training. You know, the kind of training that Secret Service agents get. It's like a third world country out there in these Democrat-run cities. But besides the shootouts at the cash register, the bathroom is also in the line of fire, so to speak. Last year, Starbucks kicked out some homeless guys from their bathroom and got some bad headlines. So they decided to open their bathrooms to anyone in the entire city who wanted to just walk right in. Well, boy, did that backfire. Starbucks bathrooms make a Chinese wet market look pristine now. So now you have to buy a cup of coffee like a customer to sell heroin in the bathrooms. So it's no wonder companies like Starbucks are starting to take matters into their own hands. The streets are violent. You could just be strolling down the block when all hell breaks loose. Like this guy in Philly found out on Monday. He was attacked by two gunmen trying to rob him. He turned the tables on him, even shooting one of the suspects. It's kill or be killed out there. And it's not just Philly, it's not just Starbucks. Over in Southern California, 7-Eleven can't even stay open 24/7 without getting robbed. The chains told its stores throughout LA to close down overnight after 6 different 7-Elevens were robbed this weekend. A customer and clerk were killed, while 3 others are still in critical condition. Police are saying the robbers could all be connected, and they've released images of the suspects, but are still working on tracking them down. This is becoming too common in Biden's America, where grabbing a Slurpee or a Frappuccino, you're putting your life on the line. Dan Bongino is the host of Unfiltered, and he joins me now. So, Dan, you know, liberals think Burger Kings get stuck up, or, you know, McDonald's, those type of places, but you start coming into Starbucks with guns and selling narcotics out of the bathrooms, I think that's going to rattle some people.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you ever see Book of Eli, that Denzel Washington? We're living in that right now. We're living in this completely lawless now, in liberal cities, chaotic societies, where everything's been, the dipsy-do flipperoos happen. Like, everything's been flipped in their heads, right? The store owner in the bodega, we've seen the video 1,000 times on the network, everywhere else, who defends himself against a guy in there to beat the crap out of him and steal his livelihood, is now the bad guy, while the girlfriend gets off after stabbing the guy. I mean, this is just like, you got to be watching this right now going, what happened? And the problem I have with this, outside of the obvious moral and ethical problems with robbery and murder and all of this other stuff, is this is happening because they want it to happen, Jesse. I lived through the New York City Renaissance, working for the police department in New York City. I'm not that old. I'm 47. I'm old enough. But I'm
like
old
a
enough
war
to
zone
remember
out
New
there.
York City when it wasn't if your car was going to get robbed. It was only, a matter of when.
Remember Escape
they
from
had
New
the
York?
club, and then they had the
It's gonna be
cap,
true
and they had the
soon.
club and the cap. Your car was getting robbed. I mean, it was a whole industry about your car not getting stolen.
It's
Right?
gonna be the whole world.
So
Escape
I
from
saw
the
what
world.
happened with the Giuliani era. They implement broken in
Thanks for
Windows
watching,
8,
Patriots.
where they stop the little stuff and the big stuff takes care of itself. That's
If
what
you haven't
irks me about
subscribed,
this, is
please
they know
do.
this will work, and they just refuse to do it. They let these people be sheep for the wolves out there.
And I think it was Seth Rogen, the actor out in LA. He's like, you know what? And you get your car broken into all the time. It's part of living in a big city. You know, you have a guy that's influential like that. He tries to normalize crime. What kind of message do you think that sends?
Not a good one.
You know, nothing cracks me up more than when a bunch of a-holes, pardon my language, Hollywood celebrities making $10, $15 million a year, getting paid royalties for sucky movies they did that no one wants to watch, to sit on their fat rumps smoking doobies and eating mushrooms in their house behind their 72-foot tall gates in their mansions going, listen, you great unwashed, smelly Walmart idiots. This is just part of life in the big city. Not for you, it isn't.
Right.
For everyone else, it is. I mean, but you understand, this is what the Democrat, not to get off topic of your subject here, but this is the new Democrat Party. Abortion, guns, upper crust, Brahmin type, educated people who make a lot of money, who don't have to deal with the problems of the smellies. This is the Democrat Party. The Republicans, the savvy ones, have been smart. They've said to people, you're not the smellies. You actually built this place. That slob Seth Rogen is eating magic mushrooms in his house that a carpenter actually built.
Yeah,
That
well,
dude
you're
would be
rich.
sitting on the sidewalk if
Rich
it
aren't
wasn't
working
for
no
you.
more
The
doing
smart
movies, so you don't
Republicans
have to
made
worry
the
about
move.
that.
That was the
'Cause I
Trump
won't
appeal.
watch 'em.
It ironically took a billionaire to appeal to the working class. The Democrats are now, they are the party of you're the smellies and we're the elites. And look at us, we're the Hollywood people, we're the professional athletes. The rest of you can plant a big wet one on our asses. We don't care. That's the new Democrat Party. And that's what this is, and that's what you get. The war zones you see in the Chiron right now are not for Seth Rogen. They're for you, the carpenter, the pilot, the military guy.
All your
the cop.
Democrats,
They're
what's
for
it gonna
you. Seth
take,
Rogen don't
you
care, 'cause it
jackasses?
doesn't- he's probably in his house right now, sitting there laughing at this whole segment, like, they're right. I'm sitting here doing my thing. I'm not worried about these idiots.
Yeah, they deliver Slurpees to his house. He doesn't go out and get them by
He
himself.
door dashes a Slurpee. He don't get it December 11th.
Dan Bongino, see him on Saturday night, 9 o'clock.
Thanks for watching. God bless.